Today, we are going to be talking about the 3 places in your home where hanging art will absolutely ruin your vibe. And I see this all the time. People spend good money on beautiful pieces, then stick them in spots that make their entire space feel off. I'm going to show you exactly which 3 locations kill your room's energy faster than anything else. Plus, I'll give you the right way to display art so it actually enhances your home instead of making it look like a cheap hotel room. By the way, if you're looking for quality pieces that deserve proper placement, we're Art in Bulk, and we've got hand-painted oil reproductions of famous works that'll transform any space when you put them in the right spot. Okay, mistake number 1 that I see over and over again: hanging art directly above your bed. This is probably the most common mistake I see, and here's why it's killing your bedroom vibe. First off, it creates this psychological pressure when you're trying to sleep. You've got this visual weight hanging over your head all night, and your subconscious picks up on that. Your bedroom should feel like a sanctuary, not like you're under a piece that might fall. And here's the thing, it makes your bedroom look exactly like a generic hotel room. You know that feeling when you walk into a Holiday Inn and there's some random landscape print bolted above the headboard? That's what you're creating in your own home. Plus, the scale is almost always wrong. People either go too small, so the piece looks lost and insignificant, or too big, so it dominates the room awkwardly. Either way, it disrupts your sleep space. Next up on my list, tiny hallway walls. This one drives me crazy because people think they need to fill every blank wall with something, but narrow hallways are not the place for art. When you hang art in a cramped hallway, you're making that space feel even more claustrophobic. Hallways are transition spaces where people move through quickly. They're not stopping to appreciate your piece, so the art gets ignored while making the narrow walls feel squeezed and awkward. Even expensive pieces look cheap when the proportions are wrong. Instead of creating flow through your home, you're creating visual clutter that makes people uncomfortable. The third place that absolutely ruins your vibe: bathroom walls. Okay, I know some of you are going to push back on this one, but hear me out. First, the practical stuff. Bathrooms are humid. That moisture is going to damage your artwork over time, especially if you're investing in quality pieces. You're basically throwing money away by exposing art to steam and humidity every single day. But beyond that, there's something psychologically weird about mixing private bathroom activities with beautiful art. Your guests feel awkward looking at a gorgeous painting while the danger using your facilities. Bathrooms are functional, private spaces. Trying to turn them into art galleries creates uncomfortable tension. The common thread: bad placement in any of these spots disrupts the flow of your entire home. When one room has awkward art placement, it affects how people experience your whole space. So where should you actually hang your art? Let me give you the 3 places that actually enhance your home's vibe instead of killing it. Your living room focal wall is where art belongs. This is usually the wall behind your sofa or opposite your main seating area. People spend time here, they're relaxed, and they can actually appreciate what you've hung. The art becomes part of conversations and creates a real focal point for the room. Your dining room is another perfect spot. Art here becomes a conversation starter during meals. It sets the mood for intimate dinners or family gatherings. Plus, dining rooms usually have better proportions for displaying larger pieces that make a real statement. And your entryway. This is where you make that first impression. Good art placement here welcomes people into your home and sets the tone for everything else they're going to see. It's like a preview of your style and taste. Now, let's talk about the actual rules for hanging art properly. First rule: height. The magic number is 57 inches. That's where the center of your artwork should be, measured from the floor. This puts art at average eye level and creates consistency throughout your home. Second rule: width. Your art should be about 2/3 the width of whatever it's hanging above. So if you've got a 6-foot sofa, your art should be roughly 4 feet wide. This creates visual balance instead of that awkward floating look. Third rule: distance. You want to be able to step back and see the whole piece without craning your neck. This usually means leaving at least 3 to 4 feet of viewing space in front of your art. And here's where scale really matters. Bigger is almost always better than too small. I see people hang these tiny little pieces on massive walls, and it makes everything look cheap and unfinished. Here's how to fix it. If you're going to invest in art, make sure it has enough presence to actually impact the space. This brings me to why quality matters so much. You can follow all the placement rules perfectly, but cheap prints lack the authentic texture and real brushstrokes that change a room's entire energy. That's why we focus on hand-painted oil reproductions of famous works. These aren't just prints. They're actual paintings with texture, depth, and presence. When someone walks into your living room and sees a hand-painted Van Gogh or Monet reproduction on your focal wall, it commands respect. The difference is immediate. Instead of looking like you grabbed something from a big box store, your space feels curated and intentional, the complete opposite of that generic hotel room vibe. Cheap prints disappear into the wall, but quality hand-painted pieces have the visual weight to anchor a room properly. They command attention without creating that anxious pressure you get from bad placement. Our reproductions solve that vibe problem because they're created with the same techniques as the originals. You get authentic texture, proper scale options, and pieces that actually deserve the prime real estate in your home. They're conversation starters. People ask where you got them, who painted them, what the story is. That's the opposite of cheap prints, which people glance past without a second thought. When you invest in a quality hand-painted reproduction and place it correctly, on that living room focal wall at 57 inches, proportioned to your furniture, you're creating a space that feels expensive and thoughtful. And that matters because your home is where you spend your life. You deserve that intentionality. That's the real difference. Quality art in the right place transforms your space into something that feels intentional and sophisticated. So remember, avoid the bed, skip the hallway, stay out of the bathroom. Choose your living room focal wall, dining room, or entryway instead. Check out our hand-painted reproduction collection for pieces that actually deserve proper placement and will enhance your home's vibe. Subscribe for more design mistakes to avoid.